Hey yo, what's up YouTube? It's your boy CrispPurpose back at it again with another Gems of War Guild Wars Attack Teams video for you guys. So this time around we have once again a red restriction for our troops and weapons for Guild Wars, man. And in this video we're going to be going through a plethora of Guild Wars attack teams. I think it's going to be anywhere from about 12 to maybe 15 attack teams that you guys can use for this upcoming Guild War. So stick around, the teams are going to be right up. So for this first team, we're going to start off with the strong teams into some of the teams that are not so meta, right? So the first team, of course, is going to be having Wand of Stars at the top, followed by Chrysanthrax and 2 copies of ZBP. One of the best teams for high-level players to do for this upcoming Guild Wars, right? I will not be clicking on the hero to showcase the class, simply because we have a bug currently in the game, which is, crashing every single time we select the hero and look at the class and weapons and stuff like that. So we're not going to be doing that. We're going to look at the troops here. So of course, Chrysanthrax dealing the Scent of Carnage spell. It's going to be great for standard AoE damage and looping with exploding skulls, getting a 10% chance for an extra turn boosted by the skulls exploded. Then we have 2 copies of ZBP here for his one little spark, exploding 2 skulls when my turn begins. And 2 copies, you're going to ensure you have a 4-gem explosion every single turn, or at least a 4 skull explosion every single turn. You can also use ZBP's Big Boom spell for just dealing damage and gaining mana, and of course gaining an extra turn whenever you cast the troop. Right? Let's jump right into a fight. This is Central Spire, the 3 trophy battle, so we can demonstrate what you can do with this team. So of course you want to go for the 4-gem matches wherever you see them, but if you don't get that, your ZBP should get you spell ready, and I am running with the Elementalist class on this, but you can use whatever class you see fit, right? Let's go ahead and cast the wand, and now we're probably going to take that skull off the board. If you want to dwindle down the enemies here to ensure that you're dealing a really heavy amount of damage, you can go right ahead with ZBP and peel off some of that HP and armor from the enemies, specifically their armor, and you can follow up with your Chrysanthrax, big AoE damage. Now, if an enemy is submerged here, you're going to have to take the risk and give this sucker a skull so he can try and hit you, right? It's not going to be easy. If you can't get him to take the skull, I think you should be able to get him to take the skull. So let's just match this. He will take the skull. There it is. Submerge is gone. We can deal the AoE damage. There it is. If you want to, switch out the Elementalist class. Go with the Mechanist class for the Banishment talent. It's a level 70 talent that allows you to dispel enemies whenever you match 4 or more gems. Right? So that's the first team right there. The second team is going to be right up. So the second team right here is probably one of the best teams that majority of players are going to be rocking with. It's going to be 3 copies of Takshaka with the Wand of Stars. One of the best teams that any player can use, especially if you're a high-level player, you should have this. Let's jump into a fight here. We're not going to need to explain much. It's just Elementalist class, 3 copies of Takshaka. This should just win. No matter what the enemies are, you should be able to kill them with this team. This is a super meta team currently in the game, right? So you see, the Wand of Stars is spell ready because of the final trait on the Takshakas, the Rainbow Scales, creating 3 wild cards. Creating a 3 times wild card, right, when my turn begins. That allows you to get really spell ready of the first turn majority of the times, and you just cast your wand and let the Takshakas do their job, right? So there it is. 1 Takshaka is ready. Let's target down an enemy. Killed 1 out. If we want to, we can match these wild cards here, and then we just follow up with the kills. And majority of times, your Takshakas are going to loop back into themselves. If you have 3 copies, this Guild War is going to be super easy for you. If you're a more experienced player that has everything, should be super easy, right? And that's the second team right there. The third team is going to be right up. So this third team is a pretty good team that I think a lot of players can use, especially for those that don't have all of these gem dragons, cosmic dragons, floral dragons, and of course the meta of Takshakas, right? So you're going to be rocking with Centurion at the front of this team. This troop is here because of the Dark Skies spell. There is a 10% chance to devour a random enemy, plus 10% for each wild card, then convert all skulls to ×2 wild cards. Really OP spell. Allows you to just to get spell ready no matter what once you get the Centurion cast going off, right? Then you have the hero with the Celestial Flask. It's a great weapon if you don't have the Wand of Stars. Celestial Flask places those potion gems on the board, and those potion gems allow for, you know, just a plethora of mana on the board, just an explosion of mana on the board with those gems. Then Zul'God's going to be here for his annihilation spell, killing an enemy, burning and freezing all remaining enemies. Then he will create those 12 skulls so you can kill them out really fast. He's impervious, and he has that manifestation final trait. Then Gimlet Stormbrew is going to be here for an empowered start. You're going to be transforming green gems to brown, enraging the first ally, which is going to work out well with the creation of the skulls from your Zul'God, as well as giving life to that first ally. This troop is having fortitude, and it's an empowered troop. The banner here is the Gate banner from the Hellgate faction. This is a +2 on brown, +1 on yellow. No, sorry, +1 on red. They were minusing yellow. Yeah, there we go. All right, let's jump into the fight, right? Central Flyer once again against the Takshaka team. Let's see if we get a good board. If we don't get a good board, we'll still be fine, but let's see if we get a good board, right? And now you can go ahead and cast your, let's cast the Flask, and then you follow up with your Centurion. Oh, we got a Devourer, nice! That's exactly what you want to see, right? And these troops loop into each other, Centurion with Zul'God and all that stuff, so you can continuously spam one down for the other. There it is. Pretty powerful team, especially if you get a great board in which you can convert those greens into brown mana for your Centurion. It works out very well. That's team number 3. Team number 4 is going to be following right up. So the Immortal Truglin is on this 4th team. This is a troop that was not available the last time the Red Guild Wars was around, right? This troop is great to use. Why? Because he's invulnerable, so he's immune to all status effects. Right, so it's just good to use. The one thing you have to keep in mind though is that Chaotic Desire final trait, creating a wish gem when my turn begins, can backfire if you lose your turn. But this troop has a guaranteed extra turn because it is a goblin. Even though we saw 2 goblins come into the game with no extra turn, this one still has it, right? So this is going to be dealing true damage, 105 in my case. True damage to 3 random enemies. Of course, if you use it in the Broken Lands, it deals double damage, but we're not going to be using it there, so avoid that part of the spell. Then, of course, the hero is once again with the Wand of Stars, and then ZBP in 2 copies. If you don't have 2 copies of ZBP, take one off, put on another troop here that could be helpful as a true damager. But for me, I'm demonstrating this with 2 copies of ZBP. And then the banner on this team, what is the banner here? Banner here is the Spirit Fox banner from the Court of Foxes faction. It's a +2 on red, +1 on green. Never mind seeing yellow here. Let's jump into a fight. Right? This team is good because it loops, right? It's a really good team that loops. Let's get that explosion from ZBP. Didn't get a good board movement here, but let's just match this. There we go. And now we can cast our wand, cleanse ourselves, true damage. Then we can cast this here, get more movement on the board, as you guys can see. Once again, and we're pretty close to getting spell ready. We can cast the wand once more. Let's match that 4-gem match. And plus we have the Elementalist class here, so we don't really have much to be concerned with when it comes on to the enemy, like doing anything after we've started casting. They're basically dead, right? As you guys can see, really powerful team, probably one of the best teams for players to use. It just loops over and over and over again. The only thing on the team that can probably drop the loop is the Wand of Stars. Your ZBP, along with your Immortal Truglin, should be able to take this, right? Let's move on to another team. So here is another great immortal for this Red Guild Wars. Immortal Ossifer is an amazing immortal troop. Why? Because he is invulnerable for 1, and then he has that Torment final trait, cursing and stunning a random enemy when matching 4 or more gems. The troop has an amazing spell. So the spell here converts all gems of a chosen color to Doom Skulls, which is amazing. You can pick wherever you want to on the board, convert that, ensure you're getting an extra turn. And then along with that as well, he is dealing true damage to all enemies. Of course, if you use it in Ancient Ket, it will deal double damage, but we're not using it there, so we won't have that. But nonetheless, this is a very good troop to use in this restriction. So we have him on the team along with 2 copies of Emberclaw, one of the better troops to get a turn 1 movement on the board without actually losing your turn, right? Because of that final trait, Burning Bright, converting a purple gem to an elemental star when my turn begins. We have 2 copies here. We're going to have 2 chances to get some movement on the starting board to allow our Wand of Stars to get spell ready, right? Now let's take a look at the banner on this team here. This is the Meteor banner from the Sin of Mirage Kingdom. This is a +2 on red, +1 on brown. We're minusing purple here. If you want to minus maybe green, let's see a banner that can go red, blue, and let's see what it minuses here. You can go minus green. There it is, right? Let's go with a Sunken banner here from the Sunken Fleet faction. Let's go. Let's jump into a fight. Once again, a 3 trophy battle in Central Spire. Let's see how my Immortal does here. See if we get a turn 1 movement. Perfect turn 1 movement on the board. Perfection. There it is. We have our Immortal spell ready. Deal some true damage with some skull damage. Can we kill them off next turn? Yeah, they're dead. There it is, man. 2 turns. That's all it took, and we got spell ready right off the jump. That's amazing. That's exactly what you're going to be able to do with Immortal Ossifer. One of the best troops for this restriction that I think a lot of players should be able to make use of, right? So stick around as we go through another team. So here is another team that I'm going to be demonstrating here. So Merilith's going to be at top of this team with her Sword Dance spell for generating mana for the team. She's going to be destroying magic plus 3 gems and also gaining some attack and dealing some true damage, right? She also has that Fire Link, so she's great to get mana to herself once you match red mana. Then we have the Doom Maul here with the Mechanist class. For our main damage dealer, we're using Kronos here for his spell Time Flux, destroying magic plus 5 damage. Are dealing magic plus 5 damage to all enemies, then converting all blue gems to hourglass gems. Hourglass gems are simply yellow gems that when you match them, destroy them, or explode them, they will give you an extra turn even if your troops are frozen on that color. And as well, the troop also has that Essence of Time final trait. He will enchant all allies when I gain an extra turn. Then ZBP is here for a very quick start with his 1 little spark final trait. All right, let's jump into a fight here. Let's see how it works out. Let's go. We got a lot more teams to cover here, so stick around. All right, let's see if we get an explosion from the starting board. Very nice. Now we're going to match this, and we are ready to go. Right, now we cast our Merilith, and now we go for Kronos. Right, Kronos. AoE damage, Merilith. And can we kill? Pretty close. Kronos, Merilith. Right, see, back and forth, Kronos, Merilith. Right, and are we spell ready again? No, we're not, so we can just cast this, deal some damage. You got an extra turn, and now we go Kronos again, Merilith once more, and we don't get the extra turn. There it is. Right, this is a fully looping team. You just have to get your Merilith spell ready and then go for it. If not, it can slow down somewhat, but I think it's a great team that many players can use. Another team will be right up. So here is the other team, right? So Gimlet Stormbrew is going to be here for his Spellstone Brew, transforming green gems to brown, enraging, and giving life to the first ally, right? And then on the team, we're going to be having Angry Mob for destroying magic plus 1 gems, dealing some damage, and possibly burning or resummoning another Angry Mob. Then Tesla is going to be here as well for her Overclock spell, dealing 8 true scatter damage, boosted by all ally and enemy armor. So stronger they are, the harder Tesla is going to be hitting. And at the back of the team, we have the Rube Macaque here for cleaning up, just in case the enemy troops have anything that can prove problematic, right? So let's jump into this with the Elementalist class against another Elementalist class. Let's see how this actually works out. We have to be careful here. We're going up against a Chrysanthrax and Tukshaka. A lot of powerful options here. Let's go and convert. See if we get spell ready pretty soon. We gotta go for it. Can we match this down? Maybe get a cascading gem here. There, we got it. Pretty close. The enemy's gonna be matching gems. There we go. And now can we deal some true damage? Perfect. I think the second cast should do it. Gotta be careful though. Killed 1, killed 2. There we go. Killed all of them, right? And that's the additional team. I think it's like team number 7 or so on the list. Let's move on, man, to another team. So here is another team that I think is really good, and this is a skull damage team, right? So Shegra is going to be at top of the team. This troop is really old and still a very powerful troop to use, right? So it has that Lava Strike plus spell that creates 8 red gems, and then will convert all red gems to skulls. Just very simple, but is it lethal, man? It also has that Pyromania second trait, so it deals double skull damage versus burning enemies, and it has the ability to burn a random enemy when matching red gems. That's going to prove to be very easy with this team. The hero has the Elemental Fury weapon. This is great to use with the Elementalist class, but we're not going to be clicking on the hero here because I was doing this while recording and I ended up crashing. Did not get that video, had to start over. Very, very bad, right? Then Keelan is going to be here on the team as well. This was a shiny troop for a previous Guild Wars. You see how it's become very useful for this one? It has the spell, the Omen of Change Plus, converting purple gems to red and brown gems to skull, blessing all allies. It's going to be really good for the team. The troop also has a Light Storm at the start of battle, and it has that Celestial Sage final trait, giving all allies 1 magic on 4 or 5 gem matches. Then at the back of the team, we have the Mirage Queen here. Mirage Queen is going to be here because of that Drowned Sailor final trait. All elemental allies start with 50% mana. As a result, my Elementalist class, along with my Shagra, and then, of course, the Mirage Queen are going to be having a 50% mana start. Just Keelan alone is going to be able to get spell ready maybe after we cast 1 or 2 of the other troops. He will be able to get spell ready here. The Mirage Queen can be used as well for her Cursed Waves spell. She will curse all enemies, and then she deals damage via converting those green gems into Doom Skulls, which hit really, really hard here. Let's jump into a fight against a Mistralis team. See how it works out. Let's go. Right, no empower troops on this one, but let's see if we can make it work, right? So I think you probably want to go for anything here. Maybe. All right, let's go with Shagra here for the first start. Ooh, Shagra be hitting. Shagra be slapping these fools, man. Oh my God, that was too strong, Shagra. That was kind of too much sauce. Oh my God. We got a Yellow Storm going here. Let's just match some gems. We killed out their hero, so he's a very problematic thing on the team. Really want to get rid of that as quick as possible. All right, so can we get some gems here? I want to get something for the hero. There we go. We got the hero spell ready. Mistralis is going to do her thing. She's not going to last that long because, you know, there it is. Her turn stopped. And now can we cast Shagra again? I don't have alignment, but let's try. Yeah, he got it. He got it, baby. Let's go. What do we have next here? Can we cast this? Yeah, we're going to convert brown to skulls. Nice, right? And let's just match some more skulls right there. Do we have any 4-gem matches? No, we do not. Can we explode brown? Very little brown here on the board. So we're going to just cast this, and we're going to use the Mirage Queen to kill them off. There it is, right? It's a skull damage team. It's slower, but it's a very powerful team. And of course, you have Keelan on the team for a cleanse, right? A full ally team bless is very powerful for this team. So we're going to be moving on to another team. So here is another team that uses Centurion, right? So he's going to be at top of the team for the Dark Sky spell, followed by my Runithius, right? Runithius is a great troop to use because of his spell, the Mist of Chains. It deals the AoE damage boosted by green gems, but it will also curse the enemies and stun them. Curse and stun is amazing, right? Has an extra turn, 10% chance for an extra turn, boosted by green gems, and of course has the ability to get a resummon of itself. If it dies, it have a 15% chance to resurrect with full mana after death. It also has that kin of the cursed, 40% chance to convert 2 green gems into green dragon gems when my turn begins, so you can make use of that if you want to. Then on the team, so as to give my Centurion a 50% mana start, we're having the Katori King here, right? The Katori King has that Katori Roar final trait, which is going to be very useful for the team. And if indeed an enemy becomes submerged, the Wild Swipe spell could be used as well to deal some damage to them, right? Especially if it's only 1 left, you can pepper them up real nice with this spell. Then at the back of the team, for a cleansing option, we have the Chalice of Eyes. This is a weapon that is often overlooked. It has the ability to resummon and then give life to allies and then cleanse all the allies. Pretty powerful weapon, so it's going to be on this team. Elementalist is the class. Let's jump into the fight. Let's see how it works out. Let's see if we can get things rolling here against a very powerful team that you might see in Guild Wars, right? So first thing here is going to be matching this down so we can get a cascade right there. There we go. We have our troops spell ready here. Now we're going to cast our Centurion. Can we get a 4-gem match off of this? Definitely. Definitely, right? We have our troops ready to go. And maybe we can see if we can stun that Tick Shock. At least off of the first cast here, we should be able to do it. There it is. We don't have to worry. Booyah. There it is. Very powerful team that I think is pretty useful. Of course, I got a nice little cascade that I made use of, but you saw how the team works. Centurion has a 50% mana start because of the Katori King, and then you just make it roll from there. If you want to switch out your Runitius with maybe a different dragon that uses red mana, go right ahead. I just use this because I think that it works nicely for this team. Another team is going to be right up. Right here is team number 10 for the upcoming red restricted guild wars. So Karnax is going to be on this team. This is mainly here because it is a mech troop that can generate some mana, and then along with that deal crazy amount of skull damage because of that spiked armor final trait. Add 25% of armor to skull damage as it's impervious, and it has a reduction to skull damage of about 25%. Really good troop for the first slot. Then the hero with the Wand of Stars with the Mechanist class, and then for our main damage dealer we have Tina 9000 here. Tina 9000 has an amazing spell, Lightning Fire, in which she will deal a range of damage, which is true damage to 3 random enemies. Then she gains armor, which is good. She has a spell damage reduction, and she adds 50% of armor to her skull damage just in case my Karnax dies. Tina can hit them really hard. We wish this troop had, you know, like impervious or something like that, but it doesn't. It only has that unstable core first trait. Now the back of the team we have our Immortal here. Immortal Titanus is also a good troop to use in this restriction. Maybe if you have 2 Tinas you might want to go with that, but I think that this can be used because of that Steam Fire Turrets spell. Deals a pretty big amount of true scatter damage, right? So just in case there's one enemy left and it's not submerged, you can hit them with a crazy amount of damage, and then it will also destroy 3 random columns. It has that Minefield Final trait. It will create 2 bomb gems when my turn begins, which could allow me to generate more mana on the board simply because that is there. Yeah, let's jump into a fight, right? Another fight in PvP Central Spire. Let's see if this team works out, right? So I think your first assignment on this is to get your Karnax spell ready. If you can't, you get the wand, or you cast the wand. But I like the fact that majority of this team is immune to freeze. So the hero is immune because of the Mechanist class. Karnax is immune because it's impervious. The Immortal is immune as well because it's invulnerable. So now we can go ahead and deal some true damage. There we go, and now this should kill. Yep, there we go, right? Really fast. Wasn't that really fast? Yeah, that was crazy fast. No problems whatsoever. Of course, in Guild Wars, you're going to face stronger teams, so just keep that in mind as you go through these battles. So that was what? Team number 10? We got more to go, right? So stick around. So here is another pretty powerful and looping team that players can make use of. So Divinia is going to be on the top of this team. Divine Dragon with a 15 mana cost of red and yellow. The spell Dragon Elixir is really good because it will explode all the red gems, cleanse all allies, and give them magic +1 life. Really powerful that is doing this, right? This is a legendary troop as well. The troop has that final trait of Dragon's Blessing. It will cause a random positive status effect on a random ally when matching 4 or more gems. It could be very useful for your team. Then the hero has the Celestial Flask with the Sun Spear class. If you want to use a different class, you can go right ahead, but I think Sun Spear works for this team because it needs a lot of red mana. Then the Immortal Capricorn is going to be here because he's invulnerable, and he has that Alchemist Fire final trait, a 50% chance to convert a red gem to a red mana potion gem when my turn begins. His spell as well could be used to loop somewhat because he deals 52 damage, true light splash damage to a random enemy, and of course if you use the Mirage Expanse, it deals double damage, but he explodes 5 gems of a chosen color, which could be pretty good, right? It can help you out somewhat on this team. I think Cam is messaging me here telling me I need to pick her up. Let's see. And then on the back of the team, we have ZBP here. ZBP is going to be helping us to get a quicker start for the board with the Sun Spear class. Let's jump into a fight here. Let's see how it works out. Right, let's see if we can get our Divinia spell ready here. First assignment is to get her going. All right, let's see if we can match a gem. There we go. We should be spell ready right after this. And now we cast first, right? We cast first. Ooh, we got spell ready off the explosion. So if you want to, you cast your Celestial Flask, then you target down the color that you placed on the board with the flask, right? You see it? And you let's cast the flask again, and you target down that same color, right, with your Immortal. You just keep on doing that till you kill these suckers out. Just keep on doing that. Cast this, then you cast that, right? This team can loop very nicely. There it is. There it is, right? It works out very nice. We're going to move on to the final team now for this upcoming Guild Wars. So this right here is the final team that I'm going to be demonstrating for this upcoming Guild War. So the Plague Rat is going to be on this team. This troop is great for Guild Wars because it is impervious. So it's immune to all status effects, Devour, Lycanthropy, and Mana Burn. It has a 12 mana cost, so it's not that high, especially because we're going to be 50% mana starting this troop. This is a Wild Folk troop, right? His spell, Toxic Spill, will allow you to explode magic +1 brown gems, and it will poison and disease 2 random enemies. The explosion of gems is what we're looking for here on this team. Then the hero has the Celestial Flask weapon, and another Wild Folk troop is going to be on the team, which is going to be our Immortal Terra. This troop right here deals 49 true heavy splash damage to 3 random enemies. If you use Dense Out while it deals double damage. And of course, it has the ability to destroy a row and a column. The troop is invulnerable, and it has the ability to stun a random enemy with that Quake Shock final trait. It will create a stun gem when my turn begins. It's simply a brown gem that's shaped like a hammer. When you match it, destroy it, or explode it, it will stun a random enemy troop. The troop has a 50% skull damage reduction just in case it gets hit by skulls. Then at the back of the team, we have King Selinus here. King Selinus is here because he is the Wild Folk troop that gives all other Wild Folks a 50% mana start with that Wild Mana final trait, and he's impervious as well. So this is fundamentally almost a full team of immune troops. The hero is immune with the Elementalist class. The Immortal Terror is fully immune. The Plague Rat is immune. It's a really powerful team. Hopefully it can loop here and kill out this enemy team. Let's jump into a fight. Let's see how it works out here with this one. Right? So first assignment, of course, is to match all the 4-gem matches. Match them. Match them as much as possible so you can stun the hell out of these enemy troops, right? And once you get that going, you want to see if you can generate some mana here with that explosion from the Plague Rat. Right? Now we can see if we can deal some damage here. Let's see if we can target down an area where we can take up that stun gem. There we go. We got some mana. And now we're going to go for our Plague Rat to get spell ready once again. Can we get some more? There we go. And now we can go for the explosion. And now we can go Flask. If we want to, we can match this. Get the board moving here. And let's just hit him with that skull. Match that 4-gem down. Match this other 4-gem down. Another 4-gem match. Oh, a lot of 4-gem matches, man. We're whooping him. All right, let's go for the target here. If you want to, you can go ahead and cast the Flask and then target down those potion gems with the Immortal. But I think this works out very nicely for players. This is it, man. Hopefully you guys and gals found this video helpful and informative. If you did, let me know in the comments section. Tell me about the teams. What do you think? What are you using for this upcoming Guild Wars? As well as smash that like button. Catch you guys next one. Peace.